Welcome to Real Estate Real World, where we talk to the movers, shakers, and leaders that are getting it done right now in the real estate industry and beyond. Your host, Marguerite Crespillo, started this podcast simply dedicated to call people about what's really happening in this crazy roller coaster ride of real estate. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and stay up to date on the newest stuff by adding yourself to the list at www.realestaterealworld.com. Now your host, Marguerite Crespillo.
Hello, everybody. It's Marguerite Crespillo, and guess what time it is? It's time for Real Estate Real World. And today I'm excited to have my special guest here. It's funny, I met him a couple months back. We were at the Follow-Up Boss event down in Los Angeles. And of course, he has this great accent, which you're going to hear in a couple moments. So I was instantly like, where are you from? Had to learn all about him. And what an extraordinary human being he is. So I said, you got to be on my podcast. He said, sure. So I'm really excited today to have Brad Filliponi here, a true giant in the digital and property marketing realm with over 20 years of experience as a real estate photographer, which is really how he got started. He's left an incredible mark on the industry. Today, the digital property marketing image service called BoxBrownie, which y'all, if you've not tried it out, it's pretty amazing. And we're going to see some cool stuff today. The brainchild of Brad's expertise has solidified its presence across an astounding 114 paying countries. Wow. International everywhere. Every month, BoxBrownie enhances over 100,000 property marketing images all over the planet, revolutionizing the way real estate agents showcase their properties. In this highly anticipated session, Brad's going to take us on a journey to the forefront of property marketing's future. Prepare to witness the astonishing progress from the humble street view property image from the 90s to the extraordinary heights it has reached today. Brad's going to guide you to leave a lasting impression on prospective clients by embracing the most innovative methods to digitally present properties online. So join Brad Filliponi and immerse yourself in the limitless possibilities of property marketing. All right. I'm so excited you're here. Welcome.
Really privileged to have met you at FubCon in LA and to speak to you today. It's great.
Yeah, that was a really fun event. That was my first FubCon. So I've heard amazing things about it and it was a blast. So if y'all don't know what FubCon is, it's Follow-Up Bosses CRM event of the year. And it was one of the best events I've been to, I think. I don't know. How about you?
I would totally agree. The vibe was strong. Like the energy was electric. Everyone was there just for a good time. There was such good content, and it was just really such a well-run conference. I felt like it just had such a good vibe about it.
Absolutely. And you've been on the road a lot, haven't you?
Yeah. We'll be grateful to say with our business, it's taken us all around the world. We are based out of Australia, hence the accent. It's pretty hard to miss, but yeah, look, we have clients literally in 114 countries. Yeah, over 170,000 now. And all we do is just process photos like day in, day out.
Do me a favor and like dumb it down for me a little bit because I'm a little older, so I'm not quite so techie. So help me understand a little bit about what it is you guys do. And then I know you have some really exciting new products coming out. And I also think with the market kind of shifting, this is going to be some great opportunities for a lot of people.
I think, look, totally. Everyone used to say, oh, your business must have spiked through COVID. And I'm like, not really, because houses were just selling themselves. It was a bit of a buying frenzy, if you want to call it, all around the world. But as you just said, I think these days properties are sitting on the market longer. You need that edge. And of course, it all starts with photos. Good photos do sell property. And with what we do, it's all about being ethical. You know what I mean? If you like, I can present my screen and as we chat, we can talk about it that way.
Yeah, I would love that. And while do you have the option to present down there?
Yeah, I'm having a look now. So window, I think we are good.
And while you're figuring that out, I'll tell you, I have one of my coaching clients and she was asking me, she's like, Marguerite, this house isn't selling. I don't know what's going on. And I said, let me look it up. And I start going through it and I said, who took your pictures? She said, I did. And I said, with your iPhone? And she said, yeah. And I go, really? And she said, yeah. I said, I think you better start by stepping it up a little bit with your pictures and getting better pictures done. And sure enough, she had all new pictures done. She had some editing done. I think you guys did some work for her,
Yeah,
and it
nice.
sold right away after that. Yeah.
And I think it's just we're not really trying to trick anyone with what we do. It's just about showing a home in its best light. Any publication, newspaper you picked up, every photo has been photoshopped. So every professional photographer does this exact editing, because I was one myself. We just do the right things that it can be done that's, as I said, ethical. It's all about being ethical. Like, we'll never, even with our virtual staging, we won't put a chandelier or a fixture when it's not really, unless it's asked for. Otherwise, that can be misleading, you know?
Yeah. I think that's been some of the questions about editing. But now, when I got in real estate, I've been around since I think baby Jesus was alive. But the thing is that we didn't have the opportunities that you guys have now with pictures and the picture editing and all the stuff that is happening. Way back, we used to actually have to take the pictures and get them processed. And
Yep.
so it's pretty cool what things are happening. But I think that has been one of the questions is, the house doesn't even look like the pictures, right? All the real estate agents that have their picture from 30 years ago. It is. So are you able to, did you figure out the share screen there?
Yeah, look, let me show you some slides and we can just have a casual chat about these marketing trends. It's all pretty simple. So if you're not unaware of Box Brownie, think of us as a website. We're like Photoshop, if you want to call it, but we're like real estate photo editing at your fingertips. And pretty much all of our edits or Photoshop edits or photo edits will have a set price, almost like a menu. So when you go in, you know exactly what you're paying for our products. There's no subscriptions. Everything's just pay per use. So we can be like a marketing extension to any real estate office at any time. If you need a floor plan redrawn, we can do that. Or if you want to use our brand new product, AI property copywriting descriptions, you can do that. The website never sleeps. That's the beauty of Box Brownie. I suppose we've always got your back when you need it.
Okay, so I have a question. How did you come up with the name Box Brownie?
Yeah, it was actually, the Brownie was a nickname for one of the first cameras ever made that you could purchase in the 1900s. They were a box, and the nickname for that camera was a Box Brownie.
Oh,
Yeah, like I love history, and I can always appreciate how far humanity's come. And yeah, I just knew that was such a cool name, and it resonated one time when I was shooting. I was lugging all my camera gear up all this flights of stairs, and I remember the agent going to me, "Oh, we're definitely not using the old Box Brownies anymore," as I'm pulling all my digital equipment out. The name just was always in my head, and yeah, no, just grateful to see how far we've come.
wow. I love it. I love it. Even in looking at this picture right now, I'm so blown away at the difference of how it feels more alive and lived in a place. Like, I'd love to just go lay down on that couch and grab a book.
And look, and that's the whole idea of it. Virtual staging, it's our number one seller all around the world. We've really pioneered that space, and proud to say, Box Brownie, we edit the most virtual staging photos in the world. We've got a great system. We've got some amazing staff and photo editors, and that's the whole idea of it. It's really just almost just help sell the dream, because people can't visualize. That's what virtual staging does. It helps people visualize what that space can be used for.
And if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to go over to our YouTube channel, and you can definitely pull up the video version because you're going to want to see this in person. This is pretty cool.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, look, we've got a few tricks up our sleeve, so
Okay.
I'll brush through a couple of edits. We've got two exciting new products I can't wait to share with you, and then look, I'm just here to help. Our whole business is just here to help real estate agents, builders, developers, architects, photographers, just all around the world with their marketing, because I know what it's like. So even with floor plans, so obviously you can give us a rough sketch like that, or you might have a copy of builder's plans or architect files. We can redraw those for you into a cool
Yeah.
format. This our color example. It starts at $24 for black and white floor plans, and this one here is our color textured, which is $28. So to go from that to that is just $28, and you'll have that back overnight.
Oh my gosh, that's like night and day. So if I wanted to, I could sketch out my landscape design plan for my front yard, and you guys could actually make it look like something.
We could do that, and we could also even probably create like a virtual renovation, or even, what do you call it, like a render, which I could show you later on. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd
We
love to
have
see that.
so many little hacks for agents out there. So speaking of builders, developers, if you need a plat map or a development site plan, so here's one this client just folded together and just stuck it on the page, probably took a photo with their phone. We can redraw it like that. Like, it's just from that to that. I think it goes up to how we charge the development site plans. It's per amount of lots. But something like this, honestly, would probably no more than $40, $32 or something like that. I can't remember the increments off the top of my head, but everything we do, it's all pay per use. Everything has like a set price menu item, if you want to call it. So there's no hidden extras or costs, if that makes sense.
Very cool. So what's this? Virtual tours?
So yeah, during COVID, of course, virtual tours were such an amazing tool, because obviously they helped anyone walk through a property when sometimes they couldn't even get access. Agents can now shoot these themselves. You can just buy any 360 camera that's got decent quality, a monopod, and of course you can use a platform like ours. And this one here, if you just wanted to take photos and upload a virtual tour and not edit the photos, we can build this for $16 for you, hosted for 1 year. So this tour has obviously been enhanced. This one's actually a vacant property as well. So all this is 360-degree virtual staging. You'll see it turn off in a minute. So that's the beauty of our tours. They're quite simple. All we're doing is clicking those hotspots. This is a red example. You can change the color of those dots. You can navigate by a floor plan. I can train agents how to create these virtual tours from as little as $16, and it can be like a really good, let's call it, listing tool, because you might be able to offer, hey, I'll do free professional photos and a free virtual tour. That sort of thing. Here in Australia, the clients pay for the marketing. And I know obviously in America, the agents pay for it. You know what I mean? So that's a bit of a difference between our countries. But look, the technology there, and it's not hard to do when you've got a system like BoxBrownie.
Wow.
So yeah,
What
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And look, speaking of differences, you're about to see my favorite edit. I've got heaps more examples, but I've just got the one to show because we'd be talking for days. But this one's renovation. So think virtual renovation, digital renovation. So we can go from this to this.
Oh, wow.
So we can knock out walls. We can add in pools into backyards. We can renovate kitchens, bathrooms, any type of room you want, just to show visualization, just to show what it can look like. A lot of people even get tradesman quotes with the editing work and go, hey, this is how much the flooring's going to cost. I've got a tradesman who can paint the place for this much. You know what I mean? And obviously the furniture package, you could get this from here. So almost set out a storyboard for your potential buyer.
I never even thought about for renovation. It's interesting that you say that, because I just had a meeting yesterday with an institutional investor, and they have a boatload of properties that they're looking to sell off. And one of their questions was about getting renovations done and all that kind of thing. And something like that would be amazing.
Oh, look, honestly, it's such a cool edit. Whatever you create, whatever you can think, we can create. And I think what's great is it helps be transparent. You might have two different styles you're torn about. You might want different furniture and different colors. And you can look at the two images and make a decision. Like, that could save you thousands down the track. And then also you've got a guideline to give to your contractors. This is the type of look I'm going for. So work towards this.
So let me ask you this. So you guys do all of this, right? So as an agent,
Yeah, so
how does it work?
Yeah, no, great question. So you'd upload this photo, and then we work on a storyboard of information. So think downloaded photos, photo examples, some brief bulletproof point text of what you want. You could draw on a duplicate photo and say, I want the couch here, I want the TV over here, art hanging here. Like, you tell us what you want, and then we bring it to life, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So we go off your inspiration. And it can be fairly basic, but the more info you give us, the better we can read your mind, I always say.
And how does it work with editing it? If you come back with something and I don't like it at all, do you redo it? How does that work?
Good question. Yeah, so we have a free rework service on all of our edits. So anything you get back that you've paid for, we will fix it until you're happy. That's our guarantee.
I love it.
Yeah. So like we just try and be the fair guys in the industry. Everyone loves that we have no subscriptions, but it's just we know it works, and no one likes paying for something they're not using or at the time. So it's just make it simple for people.
Exactly. That's what wins these days. And so that is my question with I don't know what your market is like in Australia, but obviously here in the US things are slowing down and we just don't have enough inventory. So we don't have a ton of listings. And when you do get a listing, it's at such a premium. So what are some ideas that agents could use to utilize this service to possibly help them win more listings or other marketing tools that you can utilize it for?
Yeah, look, it's endless. I think every property's different. So I think the problem with a lot of people who use Box Brownie, they only really know us for like virtual staging or enhancing photos or maybe our Twilight conversion. They don't realize the suite of products we actually do, like without just selling it to you or anything, straight from the heart. Because I was a photographer, so I did all the marketing for agents my whole life. And that's what Box Brownie is. It's all the tools, it's all the most basic marketing tools an agent needs to sell a house. And it all starts with photos. If you've got good photos and good copywriting and a virtual tour, and even if you just send that to like the property might not even be on the market yet, but you might have a buyer who's interested in a house you've just saw. You can still you can do this yourself, send that information to the buyer, and they can make a decision pretty much straight away, if that makes sense. So I think, yeah, every property needs something different, if that makes sense, and that's why like we have so much to offer.
So you mentioned Twilight. Do you have any examples of those?
I do. Let me go. I've got a couple more quick products I'll just breeze over while I'm here. And
Perfect.
then I can talk about the app we've just developed, but a brand new product we have is AI copywriting. So artificial intelligence, property descriptions. We also have real life humans, if you want to call it that, like strange, they're like journalists from around the world. You can pay them to do your house descriptions, right? Or your copy online. But we've got the AI version and it's totally free. What really separates ours is all the prompts are done. It's pretty much the easy button. If you don't know anything about AI, this works so good. It will really blow your mind. You'll always get results back usually within a minute. And sometimes I've had them back within 10 seconds. It's really cool. We could even do maybe a live demo later on quickly if
Yeah,
you have
let's
time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. CGI renders really quickly. So anyone out there working with builders, developers, pre-selling off plan. So this is like pre-construction. We can bring those images to life. So as you were
oh,
speaking
wow.
about earlier about sketching up your backyard, we could do a landscape plan like this if you wanted to. If you like took a photo on your phone and send us some inspiration and even Googled the types of trees and stuff you wanted roughly, we could bring it to life. So that's a pretty
Wow.
cool service we do. This one here is the same thing. So this does not exist. So think 360 virtual tours, but this is like pre-construction. It's pretty cool. So like you can physically walk through a house that's not even built yet and possibly
Wow.
sell that when it's still just a block of land. We do a lot of work for DR Horton all around the US, and this is the product they love because we do everything else as well, and they hadn't seen this one before. So it's just a cool edit. Any agent can
Wow.
create this, and yeah, they could be doubling their income in these tougher times. Like they could be working with builders now and offering this type of marketing and selling new construction as well. I think that's a really big sleeping giant, especially these days. I heard a stat that there's roughly 30% less homes being sold in the US, I believe, at the moment. So as you said,
Oh, yeah.
inventory is low and it's just another whole revenue source for some people.
Wow. That's very cool. Okay. So tell me about this one. This is your new one. Snap, snap, snap.
So yeah, obviously, thanks everyone for being here and listening up. But look, really quickly, we've got a brand new app. It's a world first. It's so remarkably good. The quality is amazing. Like I honestly feel I've been building Box Brownie for a decade to support this app. It's the right place, the right time, and with phone technology, it's so good these days. Everyone would have heard of Sony before.
Yeah.
They said about a year ago, just over a year ago, that smartphones will kill off the DSLR, which is the digital camera all pros use, within 3 years. That's a huge claim. And that's their claim, not ours. The technology's there right now. And with our app, what makes it so good, use a tripod, it will shoot exactly like a pro photographer does. Like It takes
Wow.
multiple exposures like that. So what that means is you'll be able to see perfectly clear outside the windows in all your shots, which is a huge selling point. You could have an ocean view or living on the lake. You need to see those in your interior photos. That's what makes this app so powerful. And I've noticed in America that a lot of the time you can't see outside the windows very well in professional shots. This app will just, it just does such a good job.
So help me understand. Let me be clear because I'm a little confused. So
Yep,
it's
yep.
an app on your phone and you open up the app and take the pictures through the app, or do you upload pictures to the app?
Great question. So it's designed to capture the photo even better. So yeah, you open up the app, it's free to download. Like BoxBrownie, you only pay for what you need. And the technology in the app, I'll show you right now what it does. It takes multiple exposures. So there's one, there's two. So this one here would be great for that roof detail on behind the pool, because obviously it's a good sort of temperature. We go here. This bracket's used for that interior. You can see clearly inside the house.
Yeah.
And then this one's more of a mid-range shot. So what we do, our editors hand blend these images, right? And that's my hand in the sky because I'm actually blocking the sun. That's a bit of a trick. But the image you're seeing right now was shot on an iPhone, and that was a $1.60 edit to get to that effect.
Wow.
Honestly, in this market where you need your properties to stand out, if you take a single shot, it's going to look something like this. And I challenge you all, check out your photographer's photos. If you can't clearly see outside the windows and they're looking something like that, our app can help. So pretty much the brackets that you saw before, the multiple shots at different lighting ranges, that's the effect it does. So see, now you can clearly see outside the windows. So that's why bracketing is so important. The app does it at a push of a button using a tripod, and these are all $1.60 edits. Directly off your phone, we'll remove the photographer's reflection. That's still classified as a $1.60 edit. Earlier, you wanted to know about the data dusk. This one here is a tremendous edit. Like, we can do this directly off the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's so cool. That
Wow.
is a $4 enhancement. And I love this
Oh,
example.
wow.
This is stunning. So that was shot on a phone, of course, app, and then they put it through the data dust treatment. But look, how beautiful does that look? Like,
Wow.
sets the mood. Dusk photography is proven in the US to attract 4 times more clicks. So if this one here is your hero shot on your listing portals, that's going to get 4 times more clicks than that one there. That's what their stats say.
Okay, so here's the big question from somebody who's a little older and maybe not quite as tech savvy. How complicated is this easy for us technically challenged people?
All right. So I love that question. So how about I'm going to show you right now. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Yep, we
This
can.
is a live demo. So pretty much I hit that red cross. You put the property address in. I can be a bit slow typing, so bear with me, but I can fast forward. That's going to open up the camera. So we just click on the camera icon to obviously open up the camera. You might notice that the width opens at 0.6 times. You can go wider at 0.5 times. I'm an OCD photographer, so I find as the eye sees it, more of an ethical shot. You're not making it look too big or small. We have a grid for rules of thirds. We have a beautiful green spirit level there when you're all nice and level. You press that camera button, self timer, and then it's taking the shots right now. So see how the app is automatically reading the information from that photo. That
Oh, yeah.
shot is now done. Cool. So obviously, if you want to share that, you can. We don't lock photos into our app. You can still access them. And this is where you can do the editing. So image enhancement, data dusk, item removal, and virtual staging. On this one, we're just going to do the editing, which will give us blue sky. But now what we're going to do is remove some items. So pretty much this looked like a Christmas photo from
That's what I
Christmas
was gonna
time.
say.
So
Mhm.
we're removing car, there's bins, there's Christmas lights, and any other items laying around. So you can give basic instructions. This is all in the app. This bit's cool. Mark up the items. So you can physically draw on the photos and say, hey, remove this, add this here, tweak this, green this grass. So you can just leave us notes. We're just scribbling out everything we want, including the Christmas lights on top. I'm just going to fast forward because we're almost done. And cool. So we're going to hit next. And then we're going to hit next again, which does our review order. Once you hit complete order, That job goes into our system. It gets uploaded off your phone in the back end. Within a guaranteed turnaround time, your photos come back. The one we just showed you was this one here. And this is what you can get back all off your phone.
Oh, wow.
So this is the power that's in your pocket, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I know a lot of people can say you really shouldn't use your smartphone for real estate listings. I'm going to argue that. I've got the street credibility. I've been a photographer forever. These camera phones are just getting better and better. They'll never replace a photographer. And I don't ever want the app to do that because photographers do an amazing job. But I think more what this does is it just opens up so much more opportunity for anyone who wants to take photos of a home and send them to someone really quickly and get an amazing result. Like, you've seen the quality. Like, we can do virtual staging too, which I haven't showed you yet. It's amazing. It's just such a powerful app. And it's just doing the simple things. The most simplest thing that you need to sell a home is pretty much what this app produces.
We have a few more minutes. Do you have time to show us some virtual staging?
I would love to. So it's our most favorite edit team. If you haven't tried it, look, I highly recommend it. I'd be happy to give anyone who's interested a free trial, a one photo free trial. I'll put my email obviously in the show notes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But let me quickly show you here. So yeah, obviously we can remove items team directly from the app. It's a really effective tool. It's so cool. Yeah,
The
to
one I
me when
saw too that I loved earlier was where you had a room full of junk and you guys basically took all the junk out.
we can do that exactly. So it's just obviously everyone lives different, and it's just good to know that you can. It's almost like you don't need to let anything get in your way anymore. There's a good chance if you need photos taken now, you can remove items, you can get it done. You're not waiting on people to clean up anymore or anything like that, or you're not waiting for the renovation to be finished or anything. You can really visualize that look right now and start attracting attention.
And what's funny is obviously there's some not so great duplicators out there. And I've seen some of the like really bad virtual staging. So it's refreshing to see the amazing work you guys do.
I've got a couple of cool examples to share, but what's really cool is, so this one here this was shot by a property manager here in Australia. This is an iPhone 11. They've just taken a single shot. We've given it our $1.60 treatment, blues the skies, straightens the verticals, lifts the shadows, all that type of thing. And then what you're looking at here is virtual staging directly off your phone.
Wow.
So the quality's
it's
there.
funny that you said eliminate photographers because you've made comments about several things that I never even thought to look at. Straightening the windows and even being able to see outside the windows. I honestly never even paid attention to that stuff.
Okay, yeah, because like obviously I travel the world. I've done a lot of real estate conferences in my time. Met some amazing people, and yeah, it's a big trend in the US. Like I think your professional photographers there probably wouldn't get as accepted over here because we all, especially in my hometown, because we live in a lifestyle area really close to the beach. So obviously, if you've got this apartment here and you can't clearly see that ocean view outside, you're losing. The agent's losing out because you're not really showing that property for what it's worth, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, what a difference. Now, what was the next one you had? It looked like it had a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. So we didn't do this one. This is just something I found online. It gets shared around from time to time.
So that's the kind of virtual staging that I've seen that I was like, oh.
And there's a lot of people out there that do it. What BoxBrownie does, we're not how do I put it? We're not the only people that do what we do. However, we are the leaders at offering it in a way no one's ever done it before. It's just like good editors that are trained and work for us, and we know the rules and regulations and all that type of thing. We won't make ovens look like that, or anything like that. But like we really give a damn about what we do. And this one here we saw earlier. So like obviously this was shot with our app. That's a before shot. But this is obviously that's the before with no window detail as we spoke about. And this one here is with the window detail and some virtual staging. And that was shot on a phone. Tell me that's not going to sell the property. It's if you're an agent and taking photos like this, yeah, shame on you. A lot of people don't understand as well. We're here to make it easy, team. Honestly, yeah, if you're using your phone, our app it just goes hand in hand. It's really that good. There's nothing else out
Well,
there like it.
now I'm gonna have to go back and look at all my recent pictures. Now I'm like, oh no, I need to redo them. How embarrassing.
Look, but I suppose it's better to know, isn't it? You know what I mean? And yeah, I suppose it's just from my years of being in the industry. But yeah, for our $1.60, we do 17 Photoshop tasks, and that comes down to adding fire in fireplaces. Like another trend that I saw in greening grass, adding grass. I saw another trend in America that sky replacements, replacing sky. That was an extra all the time for photographers over there. And here in Australia, that's a standard thing. If we shot on a day like it is here today, a bit overcast, and we gave overcast photos back, that the agents just wouldn't put up with it.
It's funny because I sold a lot of bank foreclosures and REOs back in the day. And back then, we didn't have this type of technology. And I remember there was a company that came around and they would spray paint the lawns.
I've seen that. Hey, that's crazy.
And
But like once
so
again, it's visualization, isn't it?
it's amazing how visual people are, more so than they like to admit. I've seen it in my career, all the homes I've sold, and how visual people are. Yeah, what a difference that makes. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. Yeah, no, I think as you were just discussing, I thought I'll just keep these going.
Just
Talk
for
about this.
clarification, BoxBrownie. So the Snap is an app, but
Correct.
BoxBrownie is not an app, right? So BoxBrownie
Yeah,
is
so
the
thank
website
you.
you go to.
It's a bit confusing, but just think if you got photos, existing photos you want edited, go to BoxBrownie, and that's a website, right? So
Okay.
you can upload floor plans there, do all your renovations, renders, virtual tours. Like the website it's the engine for our app, if that makes sense. So
Okay, got
Snap
it.
is the iPhone app. It is coming out on Android. That's going to be pretty much out for testing, I believe, even maybe to hit the public around January, February next year. So
Okay.
iPhone at the moment, Android is coming. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. It is a bit confusing, but it's just the way we set it up.
I'll tell you what, I'm super excited about this. And I know I've seen you around for a long time and I never really got the opportunity to talk to you. And so I'm thrilled that we got to spend this time together today. And you said that they can get a free trial to try it out a little bit on the Box Brownie, right?
100%. So for all the podcast listeners, yeah, email Brad at boxbrownie.com. Just say that you heard this recording, and if you want to jump on even a training webinar, I'll give you my calendar link. So in case anyone listens to this and wants to know more, I'd love to deal with them directly because that's just what I'm like. I just love chatting to people, and I'm not a hard sell. I just like, hey, try this and give you free trials and all that sort of thing. And also we'll create a co-branded landing page. So there'll be a link here. If you want to click that, if you sign up, if you're not a Box Brownie user, you'll get some special goodies that will work out after the show. It might be a free virtual staging example or dollar credits, one of those two. So yeah, if you sign up via that link, you'll get that automatically.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. I've already downloaded the app on my phone. So I'm going to be checking it out and trying it out. And we have a couple listings coming up. And I've already told my team, I'm like, we got to go edit them all through Box Brownie.
Let me know. Obviously, the first one's on me. All I'd say is please use a tripod team. It's so important because it has different settings. You can take a single shot, but please use the tripod and the tripod mode. You'll get that bracketing sequence. That's what really unlocks the whole power of the app. It's truly remarkable. If you use it, you can get jaw-dropping results. And that, as Lucas said in that testimonial, unfortunately, he doesn't use his photographers much anymore just because the technology's there. Like it's just so good. I've been shooting real estate since film camera. So it blows my mind how lovely this works.
That's crazy. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you got your littles to get back to. And when are you going to be back in the US?
I've got my crew hitting NA. I believe it's next week in Anaheim. So I was meant to go, but I've done so much flying. I've just got to give the body a little bit of a rest. I'm just trying to lock down a lot of webinars to people. So yeah, and just try and help people where I can. But next year we'll be hitting the road. But we're trying to pivot a bit, maybe do a bit less conferences next year and just do more of this. Just get in front of people, and it's a long flight, put it that way. And yeah, I've done it more than most people would understand. And yeah, when the custom officers recognize you here and there, it gets pretty funny. You know what I mean? Such an awesome experience. I just never thought, just from a humble idea, that would be. Look, I knew it was a big idea, but I had no idea what big looked like. And it's been such a great ride, meeting people like yourself and going to events like FubCon and just hanging out with the superstars that we know. It feels so surreal for a young guy just from where I live on a surfy town out of Australia. You know what I mean? It's a pretty cool vibe.
It's obvious that you're passionate about what you do, and that shines and shows up in everything you do. And that's really the most important part, right?
Look, yeah, I love what I do. It's all I know. So it's pretty cool that, but I've got great staff, great business partner, and it's just pretty cool to see what collective minds can do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on Real Estate Real World, where we get to talk to all the cool people that are doing the up and coming stuff. So thank you so much, Brad, for your time today. And we'll be sure to have lots of information in the show notes for you. If you're listening to this on audio on a podcast station, you're definitely going to want to go check it out on YouTube, where you can see all the cool pictures that Brad shared with us today. And we'll have lots of information available so you can reach out to him as well. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us on Real Estate Real World today. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social and podcast channels, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks again.
Thanks for having us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on Real Estate Real World, where we talk with masters and leaders in real estate and beyond on how we can raise the bar in our industry. Please subscribe over on iTunes. And while you're there, be sure to give us a review. Your reviews encourage us and help others find our podcast. For show notes and hot topics on what's going on right now in our real estate industry, hop on over to www.realestaterealworld.com and add your name to our email. Thanks again for listening. And go out there. Be a part of the elite masterclass in raising the bar on the real estate industry.